Alright, so this is probably the definition of gluttony. It's also one of the most American things, I think. It's called a Monte Cristo. It's like a mix between French toast and a cheese and ham sandwich. So, egg. Now, a little pinch of nutmeg. Fun fact, I'm actually not a big fan of nutmeg. Also, I'm scared of it, because you can die from it. But I'm adding it in anyway. People call it YOLO, I call it... I don't know what I call it actually. Nominis. Cinnamon backwards. This comes out all in one go, so I'm going to be a bit careful. Once I put this brand of cinnamon and rice, and turned out to be cinnamon rice, which I wasn't going for. My master egg beater. And the master. Now usually I add in, when I make French toast, I add in like brown sugar into this mixture. But I'm not going to add that in because it's sort of like sweet and salty, sweet and savoury. Now, don't dread the bread. But I don't eat carbs. Shut up. Okay. Now, this isn't in the traditional recipe, but well, not really traditional, but this isn't in a normal recipe, but I'm adding in rhubarb and stem ginger jam. It has been open for longer than it says, so if I get a bit, then it's the jam. I'll sue them instead. Right. Usually it's raspberry jam. I've seen people actually use raspberry jam. I actually saw this on Diners, Drive-Ins and Dives today, I'm pretty sure. But their one was more gluttonous than this, if you can even believe. It was deep fried, but like in a donut batter. It was very, very American. Wait, I bet you can't guess how many times I say American in this video. Ham. I'm regretting this now. At least this isn't really a trend though, it's an actual food. If this was a trend, I wouldn't bat an eye and I would keep doom scrolling. Ham. Now cheese. I've seen with the many videos of this sandwich I've mostly seen Swiss cheese, but I don't have that, and it's quite early in the morning, and I'm not going to bother to get Swiss cheese for this pig of a sandwich. I also saw someone use American cheese. I do have that, but it's not cheese. It's milk product. And I don't really like it either. I've also seen people do a double layer of this sandwich, but I'm pretty happy with my body right now, so I don't want to be double the size of me. I'm not in height, lengthwise. If you don't like cheese, then you've only had one type of cheese, or two, or three. If you don't like cheese, there is a cheese that you will like. If I know you, I'll smuggle cheese into your food. I might add in a little bit more jam, just on the other side, because the other side looks pretty lonely. Now this goes on top, and we're not cutting off the crusts because we're not babies. By the way, this was the only bread I have, so it's sourdough. Very posh. It is the bread I mostly have though, because paper. Now this goes into our egg mixture. I'm crying right now. And not in the good way, not in the haha way. In the way. Best description. Now some butter. This is how to be fat 101. Butter to melt. Right here. Now I'm going to fry this too. I mean, I know what French toast looks like, so when it gets a nice golden colour. By the way, this is not a tutorial or a recipe, because I'm only doing this to myself. Alright, now it's done, but it's not ready yet. Yes, and when you thought it just couldn't get more worse, powdered sugar goes on top. This is the definition of loads of things. Most things in the world, actually. But this is the definition of an idiot sandwich. I'm not going to add maple syrup first because I don't have it. Second, you know why. Alright, bon appetit. Or actually no, this is more of a farewell. What is that? That's all I have to say.